But if it's something I say or do that makes you think I'm on something else, just take some time, think about what I've done in the past. Just take some time before you just rush into judgment. But however, if you arrive at a place where you like, you know what, Eshon is on something totally different from what I know to be true about, stop listening to me. It's important that we're always adhering to the Holy Spirit. Now listen, I tell y'all before, I'm nobody's teacher, I'm nobody's leader. I'm not trying to be that in your life. What I am trying to be, what my wife is, and even my children are trying to be, is people that point you to the Father, how I believe Hamashiach, the Messiah, lived. You look at his life, you read the Gospels, and you just see how he was always pointing to the Father. It's a big difference from these idols, these false gods out here who will point to themselves. The Messiah would always point to Yah. He would always remind the people of his position in the kingdom in respects to the Most High. He will always point to Yah, and that's what I really attempt to do just in my personal life, through my music and whatever contribution that I'm bringing, entertainment in any form or fashion. I want to point to the Father because I believe personally that's where our minds need to be stayed on. Need to be stayed on him, and we need to be focused on pleasing him and honoring him. And the Holy Spirit does that for us. If you truly bear the Spirit of the Most High, you know when you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, the Spirit will admonish you. Hey, you don't need to be looking at that. Hey, you don't need to be listening to that. Hey, you don't need to be interacting with that person. If you're sensitive to the Spirit, you know what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to be doing. And so, like I said, I'll put out stuff on social media to just remind people, burn your idols. Anything that you got that's fighting for a position of authority in your life against the Most High, you got to burn that thing. That thing is evil. It's wicked. The one who sits at the top is Yahuwah. Him only. Nobody else, nothing else should be in competition for that position. And if it is, you got to check yourself. I got to check myself all the time because of my thoughts. Got to check it. And that's the blessing of having the Holy Spirit. You get to have a thought and you get to check that thought and say, nah, that's wrong. What am I thinking? Nah, that's error. That's a blessing, man. Not get caught up in the agendas and the ideologies of this world. Because if you allow these things to speak to you, speak into your life, and you hear them and you listen long enough, you begin to conform and begin to live life like they live life. And we know that their agenda is opposite. It's opposing the Most High. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm not trying to present myself as perfect, like I don't make any mistakes, like I don't do anything wrong, I don't have any bad thoughts. I do. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to be the person that's always pointing you back to the Most High. Through everything I do, let me point you back to the Most High, because that's where you're going to get, that's your God. The Most High Yahuwah, the God of heaven and earth. That is the one who's going to speak to you and tell you what you need to be doing, what you shouldn't be doing. If I'm not pointing you to him, then I'm a bad influence. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be a bad influence for y'all. So many people get positions in that industry, and now they're a slave to that industry, because if they go against that industry, it's going to mess with their money. It's going to mess with their standard of living. And that's a sad thing, man, when people compromise for that. And so I want to stay as far away from that as I can. I'm not trying to, present to y'all this blameless image. I know it's social media, so you see whatever somebody show you, and that can be deceiving. If you're looking to somebody, if you're looking at somebody for them to be something more, like me, celebrities and preachers, teachers, whatever, like we are not Yah. You know what I'm saying? This is for the people that need to hear that. We are not Yah. And if we ever display to you behavior, or if we have speech that goes against righteousness, that's teaching you rebelliousness against the Most High, that's teaching you wickedness, that's teaching you to be evil, you need to turn us off. You need to stop listening to us. You need to back away and get into your script and get into your prayer clause. Those who need to hear that, and some of y'all know, you know what I mean, when people start speaking off or teaching off or talking off, you know, it's time for you to back away. I've had people in my life like that, where I'm listening to them, but then they start going off because they being influenced by something else, and I gotta back away. It's easy to get caught up in mankind's ability, what mankind says, what mankind does. It's easy to get caught up in that because we see it with our physical eyes. It's familiar. Like the way I talk, you know, how you might see me with my wife or see me with my children might be relatable to you, so you'll find, you know, a reason to put some trust or some stock into me, because it's familiar. But that can also be dangerous, because a person like me, a person like a pastor, a person like you know, any other entertainer or celebrity or whatever, you know, now if you give them that power in your life, that authority in your life, now they can start speaking things in your life that's gonna, you know, that could possibly pollute you, take you down the wrong road. That's why Yah says in his word, we shouldn't put no idols, put nobody before the Most High. It's cool to have people that you listen to, people you might watch in a movie or listen to some music, but the moment they get to be, they speak of something off, you gotta have the power and strength to be like, nah, all right, I'm good. The only thing I ask for me, if you're listening to me, if you're watching my music videos, if you're listening to my music, and you see me post something online or say something that sounds different, that sounds strange to you, ask yourself before you jump to conclusions and jump in my comment section and go crazy, what could Eshon be saying by this? Because a lot of times when I post, I don't give the whole context. There's only so much you could fit in there. Sometimes I put things out for people to just use their own mind. But if it's something I say or do that makes you think I'm on something else, just take some time, think about what I've done in the past. Just take some time before you just rush into judgment. But however, if you arrive at a place where you like, you know what, Eshon is on something totally different from what I know to be true about, stop listening to me. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Back away. Now I know there's people who heard me say that I was a Hebrew, and that, you know, a majority of black people who suffer at the hands of oppression in America and around the world are descendants of the original Hebrews. I believe that. That doesn't change my belief, my faith in the Most High. And because there's false Hebrew Israelite sects all around the world who have, you know, brought about confusion and nonsense, people thought when I said I was that, when I said that I believed that my people are Hebrew, that I was now part of a cult and I was about to go down this, you know, horrible road of blasphemy and heresy. When they found out that I didn't, by the grace of the Most High, because it is a lot of nonsense out there. I can't even front with you. I gotta keep all the way 100 with you. There's some people out here that I've watched. There's some things that I've thought and some tutelage in a way that I've sat under that was completely off. But again, by the grace of the Most High, He will pull you out of things. So when people noticed or found out that I didn't get caught up in that nonsense, they started to come back. They started to refollow. They started to apologize to me because they stepped away in haste. You know what I'm saying? So again, I don't mind that. If you stepped away in haste and you found yourself coming back because you see that the teaching is sound, you know, praise Yah. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with that. But like I said, just take some time before you just jump to conclusions, because you might end up coming back. But once you take that time, and Yah forbid this will ever be the case, but if you take that time and you realize, though, Eshon is off, stay away, man. Stay away, man. Go. Your soul with the Most High is more important than the type of music you like. Me, if you like my personality, whatever, man. All of that's dead at the end of the day. All of that's gonna die. It's gonna be ashes one day. But your soul, you know what I'm saying, you got to maintain that. You got to protect that. By the way, this is my wife's shirt. Go support it. Support things that point you toward righteousness. Love doesn't lie or expects you to live one, because it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is the truest definition or explanation of love. His son